Hi folks, welcome to Lurvey's and another one of our walk and talks. Today we're going to talk a bit about the cold weather that's right on our heels. Actually, probably tomorrow night's going to get down there pretty chilly. Wanted to let you know that the seasonal color is not over. There's plenty of things that you can do to enjoy still the autumn weather. And there's a couple of things that we want to talk about to make sure that you're taking care of your plants. One of the first things I'd like to talk about is the tropical plants. If you've used tropical plants in your summer containers, now is the time to make sure that you're getting those tropical plants inside. They don't like the temperatures below 50 at night. So this plant, this container like this, you would want to bring all those plants, get those inside. Anything that's a house plant that you've used or tropicals, get those in the house. They don't appreciate those colder temperatures. You can break that up and repot them into other pots and keep them throughout the season in the house. Another thing that I want to also talk to you about a little bit is before you bring those plants in, make sure that you're taking care of them. You don't want to bring any insects in the house with you. So there's a couple of products that you can use. Insecticidal Soap is a great product to use. We have it in a couple of different versions. You want to spray this on all the undersides of the plant, leaves of the plant, coat the plant down with it. Make sure that you're taking care of the plant before you bring it in so that you're not bringing insects inside. If you have rather large plants, you can also use a systemic product. This sprinkles right onto the soil, drinks up through the roots, and gets into the plant itself. These are just topical surface type of treatments. So that's a little bit about tropicals and making sure that you get those inside. Let's talk also too about your herb garden. There's some herbs that are highly susceptible to the cold temperatures, basil being one of them. Some of the other Mediterranean herbs can take lower cool night temperatures, but basil does not like the cold at all. So make sure you get your basil inside, put it on a sunny windowsill, or use some of the beautiful products that are available now with artificial light to give them some good light through the season. And you can harvest those herbs all through the winter. So besides that, I want to talk about the cool temperatures and the plants that we're carrying right now. The cool season annuals that we carry usually can take the colder temperatures. Most of them can some of them can even take a frost, like the cabbages and pansies can take a frost. Most of the other cool season annuals would appreciate a little bit of protection if we have danger of frost. That, not this week, but that'll come upon us sooner than we're ready for. But that doesn't mean the season is over. There's a bunch of things that you can do to protect your plants. One of the things I want to talk to you about is we've kind of set this up to do a little bit of a demonstration to show you. If you have a container that's this small and this light, you can maybe bring it in and protect it in the garage and bring it out the next day after the frost threat is over. But in many circumstances, you're not able to move the container. So here's an option for you to protect the container from the frost. We've taken these stakes. We have various different types of stakes in different package sizes, depending upon the size of your planting. Take the stakes, cut them to the size that you need, prop them back down into the soil. This is just going to protect your planting so that you're not damaging the flowers. So we carry a lightweight frost blanket. You can use something like this. You can also use something if you have it at home, like an old sheer or a sheet, something lightweight. Don't use a heavy blanket, because once the frost gets on this, it's going to add some weight. So what you're doing is you're putting the stakes in to protect the flowers in your plantings. And then you're just going to take your sheet or your frost blanket, bring it up and over the stakes, tuck it down below under your container, and just make sure that you're kind of enveloping your planting like this, right? And tuck it in. Basically, the frost falls from above, so you're just protecting the plants from the frost. And then in the next morning, make sure that you open it back up, take your frost cover off, And this should be good until we get another really cold danger of frost. So one of the other things I wanted to also talk to you about is sometimes you might have plants like cabbage and kale or pansies which can really take a freeze. But some of the other plants are a little bit more temperamental. Should you get some frost damage or cold damage on your plants, one of our trick solutions that we do is we just come in and we snip that plant out. Take some decorative gourds and then just pop the gourds in place of them, and that'll get you even more weeks of enjoyment and probably into even Halloween or Thanksgiving. So that's another little tricky solution we use. Some of the plants, like I said, are much more sensitive to the cold than others. So those are a couple of things that we wanted to suggest to you so that you can continue to enjoy seasonal color for the months to come in a relatively safe fashion.